everybody, it's Dr. Joe and my Bumble Bear, and today we're going to show you my 10 best stretches for scoliosis. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So these are just general stretches for scoliosis. They're more for like a postural scoliosis, or if the scoliosis has happened over time. If this scoliosis is something you've always had, these might not quite work for you. So the first one is just going to be a stretch where you're going to take one arm and bring it up over your head, and then take the other one and kind of push it down this way. So you're just going to stretch over this way, and you should feel a nice stretch through here. So since this is a full stretch, you're going to hold it for 30 seconds. You're going to do it 3 times, but I would say go ahead and then switch and stretch the other side as well. So I like to alternate back and forth just to give the other side a break. If you've got like an S curve or a C curve, you might want to just stretch the side that's tight, but you're going to have to ask your doctor or physical therapist. I can't tell you without being able to evaluate you. So 30-second stretch on each side, and then 3 times each. So then the next one is going to be kind of a stretch / exercise together, just to kind of get that whole spine moving. So you're going to start with your arms up, and then as you bring your arms down, you're going to rotate to one side. So as I come down, I'm going to rotate and then come back up, bring my arms up, and then rotate and come down to the other side. So this is really just kind of stretching that spine out, getting some movement in there, getting those tight muscles loosened up a little bit. So I would probably just start off with 5 on each side, total of 10, doing these a couple of times a day and then working up from there. But again, these all depend on how severe your scoliosis is, what kind of curve you have, and these are all questions that I can't answer. You'll have to ask your doctor or physical therapist, and then you can progress from there. So then the next one in the chair is just going to be a chair roll down. So this is just really going to stretch your back into flexion, and it's a really nice stretch. I usually kind of open up my feet a little bit so I can get my hands down in between, but all you're doing is just kind of curling your back down into a stretch. If you watch some of my other videos, I always talk about keeping the back not curved, but for this one you want to get that stretch with that curve. So really kind of roll down and just hold that stretch for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then roll or curl nice and slow back up. You can take a little break in between and then roll back down, and do that about 5 times for 10 to 15 seconds. So the next ones are going to be down on the floor. So I'm on the floor. If you're not able to get on the floor, you can do these on your couch or your bed. It might just be a little bit tougher because it's going to be a slightly uneven surface. But if you have a hard time getting on the floor, don't get on the floor and then not be able to get back up. You can try them on your bed. So the next one is going to be a cat dog, or some people call it cat cow. But all you're going to do is come up, arching your back and tucking your chin in. That's going to be the cat part. And for this, maybe just like a 5 to 10 second stretch. And then you're going to drop it down into the dog, where you're dropping your back and then bringing your head up. So then it's almost like a saddle back. So then again, just a 5-10 second hold and then come back up. And so you can alternate back and forth 3 to 5 times. So really just get a nice stretch in the back. It shouldn't be painful. It should be maybe some uncomfortable stretching, but there shouldn't be any pain. So then the next one, I just call it dog wagging the tail. It might have a technical term, but that's the one I use. And so with this one, it's a little bit harder because you really need to kind of work your hips a little bit. So it's almost like when a dog is happy to see you and they're just wagging their tail and their butts kind of go with it. And so you're going to bring your hip over, almost like you're just trying to look to make sure you don't have anything on your pants. And so you're going to stretch this way, 2 to 3 second pause. It doesn't have to be a lot of pause. And then you're just going to switch back the other way. So you're just kind of twisting that body almost into a C as you come in. Little pause, and then coming back that way into a stretch. So again, just that 2 to 3 second hold. Maybe this one, do about 5 on each side, just to kind of really get everything stretched in there. So then the next one is just going to be a prayer stretch, or the child's pose. Again, if you have some trouble with your knees, you might not be able to sit quite like this, but you're just going to bring your arms out in front of you. So you can either do it this way, start with your arms out in front of you, and then kind of bring your bottom back to your heels. So if you can only come to here, that's okay. Or if you have good flexibility in your hips and your knees, you can start this way and then push out into the stretch here. So this one is just a really nice way to relax. I like to hold this one for a good 30-second stretch. Nice, and just let your whole body relax. So it's kind of stretching out your hips, your knees, your back, and your shoulders. You should feel it everywhere in there. And then come back up, doing that 30-second hold 3 times each. Then you can also take that prayer stretch and go to each side, so kind of going at an angle now. So instead of coming straight down, this time maybe I'm going to start here on this side and then come back. And then so that's going to get a nice stretch on that outer arm there. So the other side away from the camera is getting the stretch. So again, holding that for 30 seconds, then you can come up. So you can start up, or you can just then slide over like that. And I should feel a nice stretch over through here. So if you've got that scoliosis and that tightness on that side, this is a great stretch just to kind of work everything out. And it feels really, really, really good. So then the next one, you're just going to kind of roll over. Put your feet all the way out in front of you. We call this long sitting in therapy. And so this is another one where if you've seen me show you a hamstring stretch, I usually say keep your back straight and bend forward to stretch your hamstrings. This is different. This is you are wanting to get that back stretch. So you're just going to kind of curl down. This is kind of like when you were in the chair that we did earlier, but now you just want to roll everything out. So I'm just going to kind of almost slump down and roll. You can touch your toes if you can. If you can't get quite that far, that's okay. But this time I do want to curl my back because I'm not stretching the hamstrings, I'm stretching out my back. And so again, just kind of holding that stretch for about 30 seconds and then slowly curling back up and doing that 3 times. So then we're going to go into, this is really a Kuehl or quadratus lumborum stretch, the Kuehl stretch. This one's a little bit intense, so if you have a lot of tightness in there, this one might be one you want to work up to and not try right away. But you're just going to kind of lie on your side and get as much of a straight line as you can. And the goal for this one is you want to keep your hips down, and then you're going to push your upper body up like this. So I'm keeping those hips down and I'm getting a stretch right in through here. So same kind of thing, the higher up I go, the more of a stretch I get. So you might be getting a stretch even if you're just right here coming up, but keeping those hips down. So it's not a side plank, this is a stretch. And if you want that big stretch, come on up that way and you'll get that nice stretch through there. So again, if you've got a specific curve one way or the other, you might want to just do that one side or the other that's the tightest. And so the last stretch is going to be with a Swiss ball. Boing. So with the Swiss ball or a therapy ball, stability ball, people call it a bunch of different things. This one you're just going to kind of lie over it on your side. So if this side is my tight side, then I want to put it the furthest way. And then I'm just going to kind of lean over and take my arm and just kind of stretch it up. So again, if you've got really tight, a lot of tightness on this side, you might only be able to go to here. Just try and reach your arm up and over. If the Swiss ball is too much, you can do this on a foam roller, and then you can put your legs all the way out. So like if you have some knee issues, you don't have to bend on your knees. And you can even put this on like a countertop or tabletop and stand next to it and just kind of lean over. But the further you lean and then take that arm over, the more of a stretch you'll get through that side there. So again, this one's probably a 30-second stretch if you can hold it. If it's a lot, you can do a 10 to 15 second stretch and then just do it a little bit more. So there you have it. Those are my 10 best stretches for scoliosis. So if you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.